For me, there's so much inspiration. As someone who plays music, has written music, you pick something up and something happens. It takes you somewhere else and it just inspires you. I believe in all this too. I get old guitars and I understand that swirl and that kind of voodoo, the bohemian aspect of it. I love it, man. I think they make for better guitars. My name is Trevor Boone and I'm one of the owners of Emerald City Guitars.
Okay, I'm working. Here we go. So the wiring has gone well. I can put it back together, string it up, call the customer, and he's gonna love it.
Yeah, Emerald City Guitars is a very unique shop. We focus on top tier instruments, more collectible vintage gears, specifically 50s and 60s American-made guitars. And so we do a little bit of everything, but we're one of the top, if not the top, vintage guitar shop in the world. So I snagged this, one of the coolest PAF 335s, 1960, so it's a little bit slimmer neck.
Oh yeah.
But you have to hear this, man. It's so
God.
Good. Oh.
This place has a reputation that goes probably globally. I'm like, hey, I'm from Seattle. And they say, oh, you guys got that great guitar shop up there, Emerald City.
It's like you're backstage at a show, really. You know, it's where all the cool people are.
Some of my clients are anyone from Santana, John Mayer's one of my oldest, best clients, Jason Momoa, Keith Urban, Sheryl Crow, Eric Clapton. I mean, everyone comes through here. We've been open since 1996. My dad, who is my partner now, he was an old rock and roll dude, signed to a major label, had the old 80s MTV video dripping in hairspray. And
when I'd come home off tour, I'd work in a music store to kind of supplement what I wasn't making playing music, until it got to the point where I finally decided that I wanted to open my own shop.
That's cool.
Jay back then was always at the front desk, big smile, always very generous of spirit, and I remember just feeling very welcomed coming in, even though I walked through the doors as a very poor person with no intention of walking out with a guitar. Jay was always very cool in entertaining my dream of being able to walk around and just look at guitars and stuff.
My vision was to have a used and vintage guitar store in the Seattle area to cater to the working musicians in Seattle. That was part of it. I wanted to have instruments that were affordable, because I had been a working musician for years.
Booney! All right, I gotta show you this. It's a 1950 Broadcaster. First mass-produced electric guitar ever made. I remember when my dad was going to open a shop and we would do these trips.
We'd basically hop in my Jeep and we'd drive east, and we'd go out, and every town that was big enough to have a pawn shop, grandma's attic, a music store, anywhere that might have an interesting piece of gear we could bring back to the shop. It's a rock and roll machine here, man.
I loved all the dusty places. It was like a treasure hunt. My pirate ship was a U-Haul and a Jeep with my dad, and so we were just digging through this stuff, looking for treasure constantly, and it still gives me a thrill. Dude, I really grew up, him and I digging for stuff. And they're some of my favorite memories.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Not only was it just precious time with Trevor, but now, as I see him where he's at now and how he's progressed and become such an icon in the vintage guitar world, that's knowledge for him. He used all that knowledge.
I got the business sense fairly early on, and that changes everything. One of our good customers, Chris Stapleton, just bought an awesome 1961 Gibson ES335. Eventually, I started going after like heavy guitars, like real vintage stuff. You're going from selling $1,000, $500, $1,000 guitar to dealing with instruments that are $500,000. And when you're 21 doing that, people are kind of going, who is this kid? And I just kept doing what I'm doing for the right reasons, I believe, too. And it just hasn't slowed down. So we are in Leavenworth, Washington. I have a good friend out here, Rob Newsom, who owns this killer winery, Boudreaux Winery. He's a big acoustic guitar collector, and I just got something insane. I don't know if he'll consider it or what, but it's always fun to get some feedback from someone who has some cool stuff. So check us out. So 1935
Whoa.
D18.
Nuh-uh.
There you
But
go,
God,
man.
this looks cool. So not refinished.
No.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, the neck's right. Oh, yeah.
I know. I love doing this because of the people. I mean, there's nothing like it. I mean, this world attracts really interesting folks, you know, and when you get to deal with something that's been very important to them or intimate and, you know, spend those heartbreak hours with them at night when it's raining, you know, it's like you get a little piece of their world if you listen and you're open to it. Sound pretty nice together, man.
Yeah, man.
Brother and sister.
That's cool, isn't it? Trevor is like a rock star who's your best friend. He's all the things. Super talented, great writer, great guitar player, has personality. He's got all the things.
Yep.
We just started hanging out. I bought a few guitars. It's a no-brainer. I'm in there.
House is empty, I can do what I want. Rob has this Holy Grail 1952 Fender Telecaster, one of my favorite guitars ever. It's kind of the first mass-produced Fender electric guitar. These guitars are really parallel to a lot of different markets, watches, cars, I mean, so many things, any tangible investment, you know, they really parallel each other. But really, when you look at quality, you're dealing with old growth wood, so never logged, old amazing wood, and you would not believe the difference that makes in how a guitar resonates and plays and translates. Old alloys that aren't available anymore, hide glue. There's so many components that just aren't used anymore, or just aren't, it doesn't make sense for a company to use anymore. And then how these age. There's a list already for them from Stapleton, Jason Isbell, John Mayer, Keith Urban. I mean, people just stack these like gold bars. A guitar like this, full story, is $100,000.
Yeah.
You know?
But that one's worth 90,
Yeah, but you know,
85.
I need a little low on it.
Huh? Wow, I need a little cash bag. What are you talking about? You brought cash, right?
No, man. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna sit on that guitar for a while. I'm gonna bring this back. We can talk about if we find somebody right for it. But yeah, man, this is so cool.
I missed every other note.
Sound good to me, man.
Man, that 5
hit
comes
more than
quick.
I did.
Oh, Lord.
Man, every guitar has a story. I don't know if it's good, bad, or ugly, but every guitar has a story. And we try to preserve that, you know, provenance and lineage and...
Because you look at like an old guitar that say is 80, 100 years old. That guitar's got music in it. It's got stories in it. It's got DNA on it. It's the wood accepts, you know, it's kind of a metaphysical thing, but it's real, you know, and you can hear it in the sound. You can feel it when you play it. And to be able to pass that on and maybe have it continue, I just think it's important.
There's this synapse that happens when somebody gets their first guitar, or you source a guitar for a musician who's playing in front of 60,000 people, and it's really exhilarating and fun. But man, I just, at the very start, I just love old stuff, you know. It encompasses like the craftsmanship, a different time. It's a little bit like time traveling, and it's fun as heck, man. And you know, I mean, what's cooler than guitars?